All right, so we have our Dremel set to max. We're gonna hit that button. And here we go. This is a fake silver dollar that was actually just sent to me by a viewer. And looking at it very closely, it is pretty easy to tell that it's fake, but I want to read to you this letter. This comes from James. He actually said I could share his whole name, but I still blacked out his last name anyway. It says, "Dear Silver Seeker, I got this coin from a flea market vendor a while ago with some other silver dollars I bought, but when I got home and started looking at it more closely at what I bought, this one really started bothering me. I thought the darker color spots were just tarnishing, but then I waited and it was too light. I also noticed it didn't sound the same, so I tried to take it back the next day. The vendor wasn't there anymore the next weekend, but everything else I got from him was all right." So he says he tried to take it back the next day, but the vendor wasn't there the next. I assume he meant that he tried to take it back the next day they were open, because, you know, flea markets are generally only open on the weekends. But he says everything else I got from him was real. So here we go. This is the part I want to talk to you about today. He says, "I know I should have looked more closely when I bought it, but I thought I would ask some questions to you. Does this happen often? Wasn't it illegal for him to sell it? What happens if I find others in my stack? And should I just destroy them?" So thank you so much for your videos. I watch your channel every day. Thank you, James. So let's take a look a little bit more closely at the silver dollar. This is actually the first time I'm pulling it out of the flip. I did obviously open it. I already read the letter before I read it to you. But taking a look at this, and I'm going to tell you now that I have it out of the flip, this is definitely too light. So a silver dollar typically weighs 26.7 grams. This one right here, I have no idea what it weighs. We'll get out of scale in a second, but clearly not 26.7. You can just tell it's too light. And yeah, it doesn't sound right as well. But, you know, he said he thought it was tarnished, but if you look at it closely under a camera, especially by looking at it with your own eyes, it really does kind of look just like tarnish. But under the camera, it brings out the color a little bit more, and you can absolutely see that that's more of a coppery or brassy color that's being exposed over the, or from under the layer of plating right there. So this certainly isn't a tarnished or toned coin. It is 100% fake, and it's an 1879. So what's crazy, it's just an 1879. It's not even like a Carson or a super rare one. It's just an 1879 Morgan silver dollar. So it's a fake common date. It does flip. Looks like it flips pretty properly as well. But let's go ahead and weigh it in a couple of more things. We're going to answer some of his questions. So stick with me if you guys are curious about the questions he asked. Additionally, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out this awesome giveaway from our sponsor, SD Bullion. How would you like to win 500 Silver Eagle coins just like this guy?
Yeah, this is Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. This is Dr. Tyler Wall, CEO of SD Bullion. I'm calling you to let you know that you won the SD Bullion giveaway of a monster box of 2022 Silver Eagles.
Unbelievable. That is awesome.
If you want your chance to be like Kevin, make sure you head over to sdbullion.com/silverseeker and enter today. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do with our coin here is we're going to go ahead and weigh it. So I told you it feels really light, and I believe that it's going to weigh really light. We have our scale set to grams. And as you can see, it weighs way too light, 5.5 grams too light. In fact, it's supposed to be 26.7. It weighs in at 21.2. So yes, it's too light. It doesn't look right. This is clearly a fake. We don't really have to go any further. Later in this video, we will do a ping test on it, but we're not going to do that this second. What I really want to focus on in his letter, he asked a few questions, and we'll answer them right here. So first one is, does this happen often? Unfortunately, James, the answer is yes. This actually happens quite a bit more often than you would believe, and people don't actually know it. So you had bought this with some other silver dollars. Had you just casually put this in your stack and didn't look at it again for a while, you may not have known that you had silver coins that were fake in your stack. And this is probably something that's true with a number of stackers out there that have something fake in their stack that they didn't know any better because they didn't look very closely, they didn't scrutinize, they trusted the person they were buying it from, and it wasn't a reputable source. You know, there's a number of reasons. And what's really unfortunate is when something like this ends up in somebody's stack, it generally sits there for a long time. Because imagine if you have 100 or 1,000 coins or more, and you don't look at it every one of them every single day. So you look at it once, you don't, you know, it doesn't trigger any bells in your head, and then you put it in your stack, and then it just sits there, right? And you have the silver dollar that's sitting in your stack completely fake that you don't even know is there, or even a silver round or a silver eagle, whatever it may be. So unfortunately, it happens more often than you think, and I think there's a lot of people out there that probably need to check their stacks just to make sure, especially if they bought some silver from less than reputable sources anytime recently. And by recently, I mean in the last 40 years, because people have been faking coins forever. The next question is, wasn't it illegal for them to sell it? The answer is probably. I mean, so if they legitimately did not know that this was fake when they sold it to you, then they could probably not get into a whole lot of trouble. They would give you your money back, the coin would get destroyed, and everyone would move on about their life. But the second that they know it's fake, and like you said, is it illegal? The second that they know it's fake, that's when there is problems. Because if they are knowingly using, selling, attempting to defraud somebody with counterfeit currency, counterfeit coins, that is a felony. Now, the next question you might be asking, is it illegal for me to possess it, or was it illegal for you to possess it? And like you said right here, it says, what happens if I find others in my stacks? Should I just destroy them? It is not technically illegal just to possess one, so long as your intent is not to defraud or use it or commit a crime with said coin. So for example, me doing this video right now is not technically illegal, especially since I will destroy this coin. The issue becomes is when you keep fake coins like this in your stack, you run the risk of accidentally selling it, which is why any coin that I've ever had on this channel that's ever been fake, that didn't actually say like copy or anything else like that on it, like this one specifically right here, you can tell it's meant to be used to defraud somebody because it doesn't say copy or fake or not real or whatever on it. It's made to look like a real one. If you accidentally sell it knowing that it's in your stack, you can get in trouble. And that's why I do not have any coins currently in my possession, any fake coins that haven't been destroyed, like either a hole drilled in them or an X, drilled into them with a Dremel, unless they say copy or not real or whatever on it, not legal tender. Like basically the little marks that you can put on coins to make it legal to sell them, as long as you let people know it's fake and you're not trying to defraud them. So most likely, if they knew it was fake, which it's probably a 50-50 that they did, especially since they weren't there the next weekend, definitely illegal for them to do that. Should you report it to the authorities? That's totally up to you. But if you want this back, I'm going to send it back to you destroyed because I want to take it out of the circulation. So you asked here, and we kind of already touched on it, but it says, what happens if I find others in my stack? Should I just destroy them? And that's literally what I would do. And anyone else that's watching, if you find fake silver coins in your stack, don't keep them. Like, there's no need. It's really, may as well just destroy them. I mean, there's some people that say they keep them in their safe as like a deterrent. So if someone breaks in, they take the fake ones instead of the real ones, and you don't lose out on your real gold and silver. But again, when you do that, you really run that risk of, accidentally using or selling a fake coin. And if you do that, not only are you going to feel bad, but it could even be illegal because you knew you had it and then you sold it and then you used it, whatever it may be. And it could definitely be argued in court. So I'm going to destroy this coin, but first we're going to do that ping test on it, like I said. So I have my ping coin app open here. We're going to go to Morgan Silver Dollar Beta. You can see it's listening. We're going to take our pocket pinger, slide it right there, and here we go. And as you can see, it clearly is not recognized. You can see detected resonance frequencies was way off. This is not a real coin at all. So it doesn't pass the ping test. It doesn't pass the visual test because of that. It doesn't pass the weight test. I mean, you could put it on a Sigma. You could stick it to a magnet. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. This thing is fake as it gets. But if you guys want to stick around and watch me destroy this, hang tight. I'm going to go ahead and tape this down to a board, and then we are going to destroy it. All right, so we have our Dremel set to max. We're gonna hit that button. And here we go. It's a little hot from the Dremel. You can see it all over my fingers, but take a look at that. Definitely a brassy or coppery color, which is what we saw when the plating was coming off. So there you have it, guys. I hope that answered your questions. Kind of an informal video today. We didn't do a whole lot of research or anything, but I hope that you enjoyed it nonetheless. If you did, do me a favor. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Definitely helps me out, and I appreciate that. Otherwise, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and we will see you in the next one.